Hello and welcome to the Football is Fixable Alright podcast with me, James, and Mr. Impossible himself.
Hi,
Sess. How are you?
This fantastic nickname, it's really relevant, isn't it?
Yeah,
I really am impossible.
How are your impossible eyes?
Just as good as ever. Yeah.
Impossible as ever. And also joining us, we've got Mr. Very Much Possible. Hi, Dan. How are you?
That is so harsh. Thank you so much.
How are your very much possible eyes?
They're absolutely fine, thank you. I'm very pleased to be Mr. Average. I am the possible man.
Mr. Average. Yeah, just plenty of bias and everything else, apparently, because Cess is impossible. He doesn't have any bias or anything else.
No, I'm able to see things clearly in a way that no football fan seems to be able to.
Yes, apparently so. Well, maybe in this episode.
It could be a curse, could be a gift.
It's a curse that you're willing to live with, isn't it? Right, yeah. Well, actually, it's interesting. By the end of this episode, we might figure out if Cess actually truly has bias, because we're going to look a bit at bias today, aren't we?
Give it a go.
But first, I have an off the post, guys. Right, so this week on Off the Post, we've got the Liverpool fan meltdown. So after last week, right, they lost to Crystal Palace. And then this weekend as well, they lost again. And a Galata. Oh, it's a slot out. That's what I got to say.
Yeah.
But anyway, watching the comments, right, on one of the Anfield's kind of fan groups on Facebook, we got comments like, so it was about the next 5 fixtures, Arsenal and Liverpool. Arsenal have got games that apparently are now easier than Liverpool. So the Liverpool fans are saying, oh, the title will be won and lost in this period.
Unbelievable.
That's what one person said. If Wirtz doesn't start, we will win them all. Easy. Gakpo must start. You know, the meltdown. Wow. They've already lost trust in Wirtz. It's just hilarious, really.
Yeah.
Made too many crap signings this season. Can't see Liverpool finishing in the top 4. Why are they playing?
That is crazy.
I see them in top 4.
I know.
They're literally top.
Yeah, they're currently still top at time of recording, right? There we go. There's my off the post.
I do want to bring in one more, actually. One of our fans, one of our biggest fans,
You have
Tom,
an off the post?
Yeah, it kind of is an off the post, I suppose. So I say our fans, he's probably my fan.
Right.
He mentioned on our episode last week that he's an Arsenal fan, isn't he, like you said?
Yes.
And yet he doesn't agree with you that Arteta is a genius. He actually thinks that Arteta would maybe make the top 50 managers in Prem history.
Okay, I was hoping you wouldn't bring this up.
No, I think it's good, actually, because it shows that the problems that I always talk about, the biasness, it doesn't actually seep into everyone. It's not all Arsenal fans that are as deluded as you. I think
deluded?
That's... Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's probably just deluded in other ways, you know, because only I'm impossible.
Yeah, you're the only one with impossible. The thing is, I expected more from Tom, if I'm honest. So I posted, it was following the episode, I posted a short, so for everyone else who wants to know the kind of context for this, just to kind of highlight what the episode was about in the marketing and that kind of stuff. And so, what do you think, Tom? Do you agree? I was hoping you wouldn't spot that one, Sess, but you did. You ended up replying to him, didn't you? So,
I did, yeah.
It seems like Tom's not on my side for that one. So, but that's on him. You know, he'll learn. He'll learn.
He's still young.
He's still young. Yeah, he'll learn real common sense and all of that eventually. So, I mean, the thing is, it's the passion. The episode last week, it sort of shows how people they had their bias and they hate Arteta. For me, I'm just kind of speaking the truth, and it's passion, right, for Arsenal.
Ugh. This whole passion argument again.
For it's passion. It's look, I know you don't see passion. Everything's I'm logical. And, you know, it's just cold. Whereas, Dan, you'll agree with me, right? It's just football is about passion and emotion.
Football isn't, football is entertainment, isn't it? Like, you watch sport to be entertained. And, entertainment, passion, these things, you can't be entertained by neutrality. You need some excitement to be entertained, don't you?
You have to bring colour to it.
Who's neutral? Didn't we... who was it that gave us the percentage? Like 2% of football fans are actually neutral in terms of they don't have like a supporting base. The rest are neutral. I'm not neutral.
Well, in which case you must be some form of bias because you have you're supporting then, aren't you? So you can't be unbiased and not neutral at the same time.
Hey, those impossible eyes are slipping away, which is why today we're going to explore whether Cess is truly biased, whether bias is actually the way forward in football, to be honest, because bias doesn't mean you're wrong.
Way forward. Yeah. Let's bring bias into football. That's a good idea.
Yeah, without bias, football won't have life. So let's get into it. Let's see if bias really is the problem.
Let's do it.
Right, so let's start this off. Dan, you've got to be with me on this. Bias isn't all bad, okay? Bias actually brings life to football and colour, all right? This is genuinely...
Can I just quickly address something? I don't have to be with you on this, but I do happen to be with you on this. So my opinions are my own.
Being with you right now.
It's the first time this season you actually agree with me on something, so I'm going to milk it, okay?
It's just the way that you said it. It's like, Dan, you have to agree with me. Just agree with me, okay? Let's carry on with the episode.
Yes. The thing is, you always side with Cess, but actually, I know that you feel the care and emotion and passion for football, and it brings. Every weekend is more exciting because of it. Cess just has that cold outlook. Oh, that wasn't very good, was it? And it just makes the game like, there's no love in it. There's no passion.
Is there not? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, look at you. There's no passion.
All right, tell me why. Nothing. Oh, sorry. Why is it that this whole idea, this passion idea, that's the thing I don't understand. I don't mind bias because there's always going to be bias. People will have to be biased when they have a personal preference towards a team. I get that.
Yeah.
But this whole idea of passion, because we've always heard it whenever there's been, do you remember those horrendous tackles? And then they go, yeah, but it's because of passion. And then you have fans screaming and shouting horrendous things, or players shouting horrendous things at the refs. And then you hear people like Roy Keane saying, yeah, but it's passion. That's the passion. That's football for you. That's football. That's the beauty of football. There's passion in the sport. Why is it that there's such a thing as passion like this that's allowed in football because of this whole bias situation? Tell me that.
If you love something, right? So when you score a goal, what better feeling? It builds the feeling, doesn't it, Dan? Like when you see your team score.
It does.
When Cess's team score, he just goes, yes.
That's 1-0.
That's 1-0. Whereas we're celebrating it.
I suppose that goal was okay, but we could maybe have done better there.
What terrible defending from the other team. It's just like, enjoy it. Enjoy the moment.
Right. We've watched many a game of football. When have I ever done something like that? When Decore scored that goal in the last game of the season to help Everton stay up, did I go, yes, that's 1-0?
All I can remember is, maybe this is just because there's so many times, I just looked over and your eyes turned to me. And you know what? So bias and passion, it brings the fun into football, right? And I'm going to prove it to you.
All right.
Right. So at the start of the season, a Man United fan, a passionate Man United fan, posted this, and this is just fun. It's funny, is what it is. So he said, it was about Sesko joining Newcastle instead of United at the point before he decided where he was going, right? Mm-hmm. And this United fan said, if he wants to join Newcastle, join them. If he wants to join Man United, join us. I don't care. The train is stopping at the Premier League trophy, whether you get on it or not, Sesko. Your choice. So,
see. So that brings the passion.
Yeah, that's just funny, isn't it? It's fun, it's the passion, the emotion, it brings things to life. And you need that in life, right?
So your argument, you use that argument to say that passion is good.
Yeah.
And yet you're saying that's quite a silly thing, isn't it?
Well, passion isn't brilliant because it's logical. And I think this is where it doesn't compute for you, does it? It's just, it doesn't have to be logical. It just has to bring football. We love football because it's fun. It's an entertainment. And the problem is, people like the refs and VAR are trying to make things too logical, like they work in a formula. Football doesn't work like that. It has to be fun. It has to be emotional. Isn't that right, Dan?
And I think being irrational can also be entertaining. I think, in terms of what you were saying before, I think also like everything in moderation. I don't think it's a case of like, there's passion, therefore everyone wants to break each other's legs. Like
exactly.
It's not that far, is it? Like you can have a passion, you can have a bit of aggression in a game, you can have something that feels like it means something. Obviously we all know it's just football at the end of the day, but
that's football.
If there's
that is football.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't
get in trouble for that.
So the problem I have is that you guys seem to have this idea bias equals passion, passion equals fun. And so if I don't have bias, I don't have passion, therefore I don't have fun.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at you.
However,
exactly.
and look at me. But somehow I don't understand that meaning. But all right, yeah.
You're not having fun.
Let's all look at me.
Let's be honest.
I don't agree with this because I have fun watching football. I have fun playing football. I have fun talking about football. None of that has ever stopped me. And when it comes to passion, you guys seem to think that bias and passion, and therefore fun, is synonymous. Ergo, football equals passion. That's completely false. If you go to any sport, if you look at even Formula One, the fans are so passionate about the sport, about the constructors, about the drivers. They have so much passion towards the sports, more so than most football fans even. And yet they're not screaming at each other. They're not being so biased. When I say biased, I don't mean personal preference. I mean bias as in irrational thoughts, basically based around their preference. So if you say you support Arsenal, I'm fine with that. That is a personal preference. You could call it bias, but it's a bias based on personal preference. But then if you say Arsenal are the biggest club in the world, I will say you are letting your bias delude you, which, as we all know, even you, Dan, you know, that is very true, that James lets himself be deluded.
No way.
But okay, so this is where I'm kind of gonna go on James's side, but at the same time,
be careful,
James,
Dan.
you're probably not gonna. At the same time, James probably won't like it, so it kind of makes it a little bit better.
Is it because we're constantly using James as the irrational idiot?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm also pretty irrational myself, but in the example of, say, his Arteta Mr. Genius last week, right?
Which he is.
It's right. Okay. Well, there's levels of irrationality which are also quite entertaining to watch, so long as you don't take them seriously. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, I understand that.
So
I can't expect everyone to have the kind of sensibility that I have.
I mean, yeah, but it's more entertaining, isn't it, to come up against people with absolutely crazy opinions.
Yeah, hence I created this podcast with you guys.
You created the podcast.
Yeah. It's my podcast that I decided to bring in irrational people giving me terrible arguments.
because you needed the entertainment factor.
And you needed more colour to it because it was such a boring idea without us.
Bias equals passion equals colour equals fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think some people might use fun and passion as an excuse to be, you were talking about, getting stuck in that tackle and be violent or whatever. People can use all sorts of things to justify actions and stuff, right? Passion and bias isn't a bad thing. Being aware, I mean, of course I have bias, I love Arsenal and that kind of stuff. But as you know, I see it very clearly, and I don't
Do you?
I don't favour Arsenal.
The Arteta Genius episode proved you see things clearly.
Exactly. And as I said, by the end of the season, when he wins, you'll apologise and I'll forgive you. So
we did agree, didn't we, that just him winning the league doesn't mean he's a genius, so we don't have to apologise.
Yeah.
The fact that he failed the first 6 times proves he's even less of a genius than you say.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure that was the conclusion we had.
Yeah.
No. So the kind of idea is, like, without this bias and passion, imagine going to match days every week. There'd be no songs, there'd be no cheering.
Of course there would be.
No,
I'm saying that bias doesn't mean... unbiasedness doesn't mean that you have no fun. This whole idea, it's a straw man argument, to say that bias equals passion equals colour equals fun. There's so much fun in all other sports. There's bias in terms of personal preference, completely. However, when you delude yourselves in this passion, bias equals passion equals colour equals fun, you guys also add equals deluded irrationality, it can equal violence, it can equal tribalism that'll always segregate people, it'll cause arguments that you don't want it to. That's when you guys go, yeah, but it's passion, isn't it? Yeah, we're just, that's fine. I don't think so.
I think there's a level of bias you can go to which is perhaps not sensible but is before irrational.
Which is exactly what I'm saying. I have bias in terms of personal preference, but I don't let irrationality come into play. You can have people, people will be irrational about certain things, and that's perfectly fine. That's why they have YouTube channels, and you can get triggered by certain things that people say. That's perfectly fine. However, I'm just saying, whenever there's, you have Ty from AFTV, for example. Now, he does not deserve a platform to speak his mind. It is mental. And you are trying to defend him because he's an Arsenal fan. If he was a Chelsea fan, you would say he doesn't deserve a platform to say
what you're talking about. See,
right.
Never know. No.
Cucurella, for example, even today, he didn't do anything wrong and you were having a go at him about him being a nasty person, his hair, all that stuff. Well, if he was an Arsenal player, just like Jorginho, you were saying, oh, he's a terrible player, I hate him. And then he went to Arsenal and you went, you know what, he's one of the best holding midfielders.
He's a brilliant player. Yeah. He's always been brilliant. Yeah, definitely. And you know what, I've got one more thing to prove to you that you need.
I do quite like that, though.
You know, you need passion. You need without passion, love, and all that kind of stuff, right? No one would ever get married.
No passion, no love. No one ever said. My argument is never you shouldn't have passion or love or fun in sports.
You need to see it black and white, and it should all be logical. The thing is,
we've watched so many games together where I was cheering my team on. I was cheering England on. I cheered when Chelsea would lose. But. You're trying to paint this picture that I'm just sat in the corner going, yeah, that's a result.
I approve.
That's a goal. That's not.
It's a bit like that, isn't it, sometimes?
It's like I watched the game that Football Focus guy, Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's what you should be doing. Instead of ruining my podcast, you should be over there doing that.
The thing is, though, emotions work in counterparts, don't they? So, from the one emotion you feel on one side of the scale, you will feel the equal measure in the opposite side. So if you're, I know you're saying you're still a slight bias, but you're not crazy. So I would say that maybe your scope is not quite as high as those that are mental, because in their irrationality, when they're in their lows, they're at their real lows, and then when they're on their highs, they're elated.
So you're saying the people that have crazy irrationality, like Ty from AFTV, he will have moments of real rationality.
No, not rationality. No, I'm just saying he's just going to be on some crazy high. And part of me sometimes envies these people because I don't think I'm going to get that level of of
the
jubilation.
I
don't but I'm still saying you're allowed passion, you're allowed love, you're allowed favoritism in all other sports, and all other sports have that. I am saying irrationality to the point of Ty from AFTV, like James, who's an Arsenal fan, that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that's mental.
I can say when Arsenal win, right, my whole weekend, and even the rest of the week, so after we beat Newcastle in the 96th minute or whatever it was, I was living a high for days and days and days and days and days. There's no ridiculous illogical bias or anything like that there. I was just, and that's where I think you mistake my love and passion and bias for some sort of irrational, illogical thing. When it's clearly, I just make complete sense, and you're jealous of my love for football.
I think there are many times you make not much sense at all, James, to be fair.
Yeah, and case in point, let me prove this to you by a conversation we had last week before the episode.
Right.
You said that the Arsenal Invincibles were the greatest domestic team of all time.
I said, as usual, you twist my words, that the best sides I've ever seen in the Premier League were between the Invincibles, the Chelsea 04-05, Mourinho's first season, and the United, was it 08 season? 7-08?
Yeah.
And I just can't see those sides, teams being better than them.
But then you said the Invincibles were the best of them all.
Well, they're my preference because they played the best football. But yeah.
Yeah, so the team that won the least and won the fewest games is, you think, the best domestic team of all time. Now, anyone outside of Arsenal, I don't think would choose Arsenal Invincibles as the greatest team of all time. Dan, what do you think?
Well, I don't know how I'm going to help this argument because, of course, naturally I'm going to pick Man United, and that just kind of swings the pendulum towards the bias again, does it? It's hard for me to really make a rational argument here.
Yeah.
But,
if you say that the Invincibles aren't the greatest team of all time, or if you say that United are the greatest team of all time, either way, that proves my point, doesn't it?
Take one for the team, Dan. It's got to be Chelsea. Just take one for the team. We've got to beat this guy.
I don't think any of them were the greatest. I think Preston North End were the greatest.
I'm going to sack this guy soon.
The first ever Invincibles. I think, really, they were the greatest team of all time.
I can't rely on anyone anymore. This is unbelievable. Well, there we are. So we've clearly got a lot to fix here, guys, because we're not going to agree at this point, are we? So let's have a break with a halftime head scratcher, and we'll come back to the fixes in a bit.
It's the Head Time Half Scratcher. Your question today is: footballer Niall Quinn is a Sunderland club legend, but it turns out a sculptor from Portugal was also quite keen on the Irishman and commissioned a bronze bust which resides in Madeira Airport of the famous striker. He subsequently, though, claimed this statue was actually of Portugal's all-time leading goalscorer. But who was that? Find out after the break. Hello, before the break I asked who Portugal's leading goalscorer was. The answer, of course, is Cristiano Ronaldo, but that bust is most definitely Niall Quinn.
Thanks for that, Coops. As always, what a legend. See, he's a genius. He'll understand what we're saying, wouldn't he, Dan?
I don't know. I've never seen Coops get that emotional. So
no, that's a good point.
It's not about emotion.
He's
bias. Lack of bias does not mean lack of passion. And now it's emotion. It was passion and love, and so now it's emotion as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so this is getting quite emotional here. Actually.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? God, he's so biased. Such rage.
Wow,
he's getting a bit irrational over there, isn't he?
Bias. What?
Such irrational bias. Crazy.
Well, let's put it to the test, because I think let's bring your logic into this episode. Your sense and sensibility.
No, sorry, not this week. No, I object. I object. You guys.
Are you hijacking Cess's segment?
Look, you guys have got your cool segments. James, you've got your commentary. You've got your off the post. You've got your sense and sensibility, Cess. You all sound very intelligent. Blah blah blah. And I'm just sat here. I've come up with this little idea for a segment myself, and it's a little quiz for the two of you to be in competition with each other.
That's interesting.
Okay, so I've got
it's a heck of a build up. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I've got. You came up with some quality names from and it gave me an idea. There were some really funny ones, and it gave me an idea. So I've gone and looked at a list of loads and loads of names, and I've made up some of my own. And I want you guys to guess whether it's a player or Naya. So just before we get into this as well, can I just please request, you get the coolest intros and everything with your things. This is really the main inspiration to me wanting a segment. I want a cool intro. So yeah, hit it with the cool intro, please.
I got your back. Don't you worry.
We'll start with you, James. We'll start with you, okay? I'll give you a name each, so all you have to do is guess whether it's a player or Naya, okay? And
so a made-up name, is that a Naya? Is that what you're saying?
A Naya is a made-up name, and if it is...
So not a real name, okay.
No, and so I want you to guess, and if you think it's a player, I want you to...
All names are made up.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Okay.
Oh, so that's an easy answer.
Whether it's a real sports person or a made-up sports person, okay, Mr. Logical Man, okay. So,
see, it ruins everything, doesn't it?
So yeah, James.
Hello.
Yeah, that's a real name. Yeah.
I'll have that.
Your player is Wang Lickin.
That's not real. No, I'm not having that. That's not a real name. That's a Naya.
It is indeed a real name. He was a Chinese table tennis player. So that's 0 from you to start with. So straight away, Sess, you can get the advantage here. Okay.
Excellent.
Here we have Ralph Minge.
Ralph Minge. I'm going to say that is a real person. Ralph Minge probably plays football. I bet he plays right back for Stoke-on-Trent.
Okay, so It is indeed a player, so you go one up, and you get the bonus point because he is a footballer. He is a German footballer.
Oh, what?
So there we have it, guys. That was my player or Naya. I hope you enjoyed playing. Cess, you're the winner.
Thanks, Dan, for your what was it? Sayer Naya player.
Sayer Naya player. Yeah.
Sayer Naya player. Yeah. What was it called?
Oh, guys, one day you'll take me seriously. It's called player or Naya.
Oh, player or Naya.
Player or Naya.
Name a player. Something like that.
Yeah.
You can act like you didn't. You can act like you didn't enjoy that, but you loved it. So whatever. I got the win there.
I won it.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's time we get back to our fixing, right? Because we need to fix Sestan. This logic is just getting out of hand.
Hold on. We're talking about fixing me. Shouldn't I be fixing you guys, especially you, James?
No.
You told me today about a game that you played. I think it was last Sunday. You played an indoor five-a-side game.
Yeah.
The first thing you said was that you got really angry at the guy arranging the matches each week. Which, by the way, it's a thankless task, and yet you decided to have a go at him. This is the way he said it, Dan. He told me that he got really angry because it was 5 against 4. For the last couple of weeks, it's been 5 against 4. James has had to play on the team of 5, and yet it was basically unfair sides, and so he lost in the last couple of weeks. He said he got really angry at the guy who arranges it all. And so I said to James, what was the score in the end? And James said, we lost by 2. I mean, come on.
No.
That just means that James... Yeah, that's just like the biggest sore loser kind of moment that I heard.
I was okay. It was. I did apologise afterwards. It was just it's emotion, it's passion for the game. It's just...
Hang on, the whole idea that you told me about that was that you said you didn't enjoy the last couple of weeks.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, sometimes football isn't enjoyable. Okay, but
that's
it's
why
still
we love it.
Everyone else. Exactly. That's football. Says.
Then why did you complain to the guy who arranges it? You wanted that to be fixed. That's why you complained to him.
Fixed. Wow. I'm being accused of corruption now. It's just this is getting a dirty little debate.
You're saying it's unfair. You want to change things around.
It was unfair. It was a game that the sides weren't picked right. But anyway.
So if you won by 2, would you have complained?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you would have.
Yes, definitely. Look, it's emotion. It's when you're in football, sometimes you get... look at Roy Keane. He was a great player. He was passionate. And he says that he wouldn't have been the player that he was if it wasn't for... He had to think about how he had to fight every minute. And his passion was a key part of that. And that's what made him one of the greatest players the Premier League's ever seen.
That. I've always said I'm fine with passion. I'm fine with whatever you else has said. Emotion, love, fun, all that stuff. I'm fine with all of that. Irrationality. That is completely different. Every sport in the world has passion, has fun, has love, has emotion. All of them do. They don't have these violent tribalist people that follow the groups with irrational thoughts all the time. That's the difference. That's what I always say. And I'm not swayed by these things. Just because Jack Grealish came to Everton, I don't think we have £100 million worth player in our team just because he's in Everton now. I still said to you when he first joined, I hope we don't have the Man City Grealish. I hope we will have the Aston Villa Grealish. Yeah. I didn't go, we're going to win the league. That's the difference I'm trying to talk about. I still have passion. I still want Everton to win, but I'm being realistic in that I don't think having Grealish means that we have a guy worth 100 million that'll take us to the title.
Well, you never know. That sort of thing happens. Leicester won the title with that kind of thing. That's what the belief. That's what people go into the season with optimism, with excitement, with hope that anything can happen.
And I'm fine with that. Anything can happen. Leicester won the league.
With,
No, and I haven't said anything. you keep doing these straw man arguments that I don't have passion and stuff. Now I have no hope, apparently.
No, but you're going to say, well, realistically, Everton aren't going to get anywhere. They'll finish mid-table or fighting relegation, that's it. Whereas every season you should have the hope that, we could win a trophy this season.
Why don't you ask me what I think's going to happen with Everton?
So, Cess, what do you think's going to happen with Everton? Well, I don't think that Everton are going to get anywhere above mid-table. See, that's your voice.
You're using my voice for you as me now.
This is the thing. So, I mean,
out of interest, Cess.
Dan, help me out.
Yeah. Out of interest, Cess, would you like to share on your opinion on what would actually?
I would like to. I was hoping that James would ask me, but he just asked himself.
Well, let's have a listen. What's your opinion?
I think they're going to be about mid-table. Can I just say, I'm an Everton fan, and Dan, you can actually relate with me on this because you are now a team that is quite low down. Mid-table for us is good.
Yeah.
We've been fighting relegation for so long. If we end up 10th, I'm happy with that. Whereas apparently, in order to be passionate and in order to have fun and have emotion, I have to say, we're going to win the league this season.
No, I don't think that.
I
think it's slightly more. I think it's slightly more like rationally almost. If that makes any sense. The way I see it is, if you're a supporter and you're watching a game of football, if there's like a 50-50 decision, or if there's a decision that perhaps could go one way or the other, like to really back your team and support them, you kind of have to be a little bit illogical to be like, that should have been a this or that should have been a that, and
I'm so happy you brought that up.
That's what supporting the team is. You back them, don't you? Like backing your team.
Yes. I'm so happy you brought this up because that means nothing. That means absolutely nothing. You can back your team. What does that do? If you shout at your TV, does that make the referee change his mind? Of course not. But you can be sensible and go, you know what, that was terrible. I mean, look at it. Obviously, that wasn't a penalty. But no, you guys have to be irrational and go, oh no, I'm blind to all of that. It's happened so many times when James and I watch football, and there was that Erdegaard handball from last season, and you insisted, even though every single pundit, everyone was saying it was obviously a handball. You were like, I don't really know. I'm not so sure about
it. It touched his hand. That doesn't mean it's handball, does it? Let's be honest.
See, he's still defending it.
If he was falling, it's all that kind of unnatural position.
What does this support do? What is it? It doesn't change anything at all. You could just be honest and go, yeah, it wasn't a handball.
Well, then why would we bother watching it?
Okay, here's the proof.
Well,
right?
I watch it. I still have passion.
Okay, Dan, I'm going to prove that we're right and Cess is wrong, okay? So without that kind of passion, without that care, and sometimes you have to just support, okay, to get the best out of your team. And that's what you feel like you're part of a family.
The 13th man and all that. The 13th man,
The 13th man? The 12th man, you mean?
Wow, you guys are cheating already.
Why do I have to have Dan on my team?
Hey, you can keep him, man.
You have him back. But, okay, here we go. So if you have a young child, right, a daughter, who does a drawing for you, and it's to be fair, it's not a very good drawing, are you going to say that's rubbish? You've got to say, no, that's really good. I support that. That's great. And you want to give them the support and the hope, and then they'll go and be better people for it. You'll just say to them, no, that's rubbish.
Yeah, you're deluding them into thinking that that's a good thing. They won't try to get better. They'll think, oh, really? This blob that I made is good. Oh, okay, I'll carry on doing blobs. No, you don't want that. You want them to create good drawings that people actually like. You don't want to have to lie to them all their lives.
But now you're also kind of getting into the territory of your argument being you don't want to celebrate mediocrity, but you are also going to be happy if Everton finish 10th. So what is it, Cess?
Like I say, for us, 10th isn't mediocre. You can't just say that you're successful only if you win the league. I think that's a wrong way to look at it.
No, yeah, that's
we've been very bad for so long. Like United, for example. If you come 10th, that's an improvement.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. I don't know how happy I'd be about
losing,
it.
That's an improvement.
Yeah, it's also true.
Yeah, but I mean, we constantly complain about VAR, don't we?
Yeah,
but then if you keep cheering for these bad decisions just because it's for your team, then it's not going to improve, is it? You might as well just point it out. You could still celebrate that you got it given to you. There was an Arsenal-Everton game last season where we got given a penalty.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, and I shouted at the screen because I was watching it at a pub with a friend, and I was saying, as pretty much the only Everton fan in that pub, I was like, that is not a penalty. That shouldn't be given. And it got given. And I said to my friend, I'm happy it got given, because we got a chance to win, or I think we equalised with that one. But obviously it wasn't a penalty and it shouldn't have been given.
It shouldn't have been. Yeah.
So I can actually put the bias aside to actually talk about logic, because VAR needs to get better.
Well, I'm going to slightly change my argument. So I'm going to say...
Welcome to my side.
No, don't. I'm not sitting over that side. It's very cold over there. But what I'm going to say is you can be biased and still be logical.
Yes. Like me.
You are arguably unbiased and apparently logical. But you can actually have bias, is what I'm saying, right? You can be biased. You're saying, oh, I'm unbiased. That's what you're saying. You are unbiased.
Yeah, there's two terminologies of bias, though, isn't there? There's personal preference and there's irrationality. You are defending irrationality, which is the kind of bias that we're talking about. Having a personal preference, I don't think you can go down the route of biasness. And I even asked ChatGPT before this episode started.
You're cheating.
What do you mean I'm cheating?
That was quite logical, actually.
Yeah, that was logical. Yeah, and it specifically splits out biasness as personal preference and then distortion of perception of fairness or reality, which is you guys.
Well, this is the thing. So that's a subjective decision you've come to there, because I don't think I've distorted anything. I think my bias is helping me see things how they truly are.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate for you that we're doing this episode after your Arteta Genius episode, isn't it?
It's kind of right. Dan, help.
I was literally just thinking about trying to dig myself out of this hole. The more you spoke, the more I was like, this isn't going well at all, is it?
We're quite deep in this hole now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Well, speaking about sort of irrationality, illogicalness, and sort of distorting reality, is it time we get into John's juicy tips for fantasy football?
It's a good idea.
Juicy.
Give us some passion with those tips, John.
John's juicy tips.
Alright, it's time to put your FPL juice on ice for the next couple of weeks while there's another international break. But here's some tips to think about whilst we wait for the Premier League to return. In defence, it's Timber for Arsenal. He's got the highest expected goal involvements of any defender in the game, and Arsenal are looking solid at the back with 4 clean sheets so far. In midfield, it's the juicy German Anton Stack for Leeds. He's only 5 million, he's top of all the attacking metrics for Leeds, and they have Burnley and West Ham up next. And up front is a proper cockney, it's Jared Bowen for West Ham. Despite West Ham's indifferent start to the season, he's still the 3rd highest scoring FPL forward in the game, and a big differential at under 7% owned. Juicy.
Cheers, John. Although, I don't know actually, is John's tips, are they that juicy anymore? I don't know. Like, I'm ahead of him now.
I mean, he's drying up, isn't he?
He gave us so much juice last year. I just, he pushed that league leader Sam last year all the way. Yeah. But I wonder if he's burnt out. A bit like Klopp after, his trials and tribulations with Liverpool against Man City. He's just
Are you saying exhausted. You want to fire him now? It's a bit harsh, but you heard it here first, John.
I don't want to make him suffer anymore. I just think, But if you're a juicy tips guru and you're interested in the job, then do let us know. And after last week's game week, we still have Tom Lakeman with Stay Humble FC, top of our league.
Is this the same Tom that says that he's the Arsenal fan that doesn't agree with you?
No, it's different
Tom.
We have many Toms who...
never mind then.
But yeah, he's absolutely flying. 419 points after, what's that, is that 5-6 weeks? Something like whatever it is.
Wow.
So absolutely flying. So It's going to take some beating. So if you want to join our league and see if you're better than any of us, show us your true ball knowledge, and if you can choose a brilliant fantasy team, essentially, join with the code SD4GZV, and we'll see if you have what it takes to be our biased, passionate, logical, illogical leader. There you go. You can be all of it. Well, there we are. Well, I think we solved it, Dan, didn't we? That football is all the better with passion and bias and colour in it, don't you think?
I'm still saying colour, passion, emotion, love, fun, all of that stuff.
Do you think, Dan?
It's fun.
I am
just going to turn the volume down on Cess's mic there.
Yeah. I think this might be one where we might have to agree to disagree. I think I'm not quite sure.
I disagree.
If we come with a solution right now. But yeah.
But your guys' argument is that I don't have all of those things, but I'm saying I do have those things. I'm just talking about the biasness.
We don't believe you.
Bias is good. No, you just don't believe it, and
just don't
the
feel
look
it,
on your face, says it all. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode, guys. Have a great week. Enjoy the international break, and we'll see you next time. It's a goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from me.